All right, today we are going to talk about how to check inventory or stock. And to do that, you are going to go to the SKU Inquiry Screen. You see we're on the main menu here. To find that screen, I can either scroll down if I know where it's at, or even easier, just start to type in the name of the screen. It'll narrow down that search. There it is. Double click on it, and you have the SKU Inquiry Screen. When you're in this screen, the first thing that's going to pop up is an SKU number. It's going to pop up in the SKU number field. And that is the last SKU that I was looking at or I was working with. And it's bringing that up just to make it easier if it's something you're going to return to. We're not going to use that. We will put in our own SKU. Now, one nice thing about this screen is that you can pull this up all over Infinity X. You're going to see buttons that say SKU Inquiry in the credit system, in the service system, really all over the place where you've got a chance to go in and look at the SKU, because a lot of times you can know the status of SKUs if you're doing other things in the company. So you can go and search for SKUs, but this first example I'm going to show you, I know the SKU, so maybe I got it off the tag on the floor and I want to check on its availability. I just go ahead and enter that SKU. And there it is. Brings it up. It's a Frigidaire refrigerator. And if I double click on that one, or click SKU Inquiry on the highlighted line, it brings up this screen, the SKU Inquiry screen. And let me explain this screen. It's broken up really into two halves. The top half up here shows you where things are in each store, or has all the locations listed, let's say. So at this store, store number 10, we know we have one there. Store number 11 doesn't show like it has any there. Store number 12 has one, store 14 has one, and the warehouse has 17. Now, whatever the highlighted location is up here, if you look down here, it's going to show you what bins those 17 are in. This one, they are all in the same bin. They're all in this bin 80, 80, 80. So if you need to call the warehouse, you can let them know, can you please check this 80, 80, 80 bin? I'm looking to see if this item is there. At a store, you can see that it shows that this is at a floor sample location, which is 901401 at this store. That's kind of how it works. You highlight whatever store you want, and down below, it's going to show what's there and where it's at. This is going to be the total that we have in a company. And these columns across here show some of the different areas that they could be in, or how they can be labeled, let's say. The first one is condemned, and that's basically something that is so broken down that you can't resell it, that you're going to be getting rid of it, but it's still in the company. If you had it in the service department and they were working on it, you would see how many are right here in that service line. If it belongs to a customer and it's in service, it's going to say reserved in service because it's reserved for that customer. Ready is a status that means that it is can't be sold as new, but it's not on the floor yet. So we need to get that on the floor. As soon as we move it to the floor, it will come out of ready and go to a floor location. Nil is not in location. It means that we had it and we show we have it, but we can't find it, so we put it in not in location. This one's an interesting one here. In means that it is being transferred into the store. It's in transit. So you see we show one in transit here, and usually if there's not too much activity going on, you can see where it's coming from. And you can can see it right here. It's coming from the warehouse. It shows the warehouse has one out, so it's being transferred out of the warehouse and into store number 11, right? This is going to show you how many we have sold in the company that have not been delivered yet. And this is the number that are available in the company for customers to get. There's one more column here, and that's pick OK. And pick OK means that is how many that you can. If you're selling something and it says pick OK, you can give it out right there. So if you are, let's say, in a store, it's not going to say pick OK up here because it knows that this is a floor sample, and generally we don't give out floor samples, so it's not showing it's pick OK. However, if this were a discontinued item and you had one in the store, it would say that when you show one in there, it would be okay to give that one away. So that's what pick OK is. If you are in a store and it says pick OK, you can give it away in your location. Obviously, the stores all have just samples here, and so the only ones that are pick OK to give out is in the warehouse. Okay, what else do we have on this screen? So to explain the top and the bottom. Up on top, if you look, you see the on order up here. That shows you how many of this item is on order. How many of them are reserved on a purchase order. If we were out of them and the items were oversold, they may be reserved on purchase orders. This would show you how many of those 8 would be reserved if there was a number here. And then you have an expected delivery date below that, right? It's going to show you your retails here, and if the merchandising department put in any kind of comment, you would see it right here. Let's see, here's a legend that explains some of those areas I was talking about, some of the column headings. So if you want to take a look at what the abbreviations mean, you just click that, it'll show you that right there. And on the bottom, if you want to see the activity on this SKU, if you click it, it's going to show you the latest activity. It will show you the most recent first. So this is we got a credit sale, and then a cancellation. There's another credit sale. There was a cash sale and a will call delivery on that cash sale, right? Sold but not delivered would show you the ones that we have of the sales we have on this SKU, but we have not yet delivered those items. If we had a picture here, we don't have one in here, but you can click this and you can see a picture of the item. SKU maintenance is going to be mainly for the purchasing department, and that really, we can talk about that in another session, but that gives you really all of the information that pertains to this particular SKU, and it's going to be more for your purchasing department and sometimes your warehouse that really people are looking on the floor. And that's all we're going to cover right here. So that shows you kind of how you check inventory. I'm going to go back right now. And this time, we're going to click New Search. And this time, let's say I did not have that SKU, and it's something that I am looking for, and I'm not quite sure about it. All of these fields are fields that you can search for a particular SKU, or a group of SKUs, actually. So if I knew the SKU like I did, I entered it here the first time. If I knew the model number, I could find it by the model number. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to a specific vendor. I am also going to I already did that. Okay, and I'm going to go to department 301, which I know is dining room sets. I'm going to search for a dining room set, and I don't know which one, and really this is going to give me a listing of the dining room sets that we carry. If you look over here on the screen where it says display results, I can have them show me just the active SKUs. I can have them show just the discontinued SKUs or all the matches in the search. I can also, if I click this, it will show me the available, how many are available of each SKU that it's going to show me here. I'm not going to click that right now. It makes the search take longer. I will come back to it though. So for this one, I'm going to say, show me the active SKUs. I'm not interested in the discontinued SKUs in this case. If I click Run Inquiry, there's the active SKUs, or the active, what are these, dining sets that we carry from this vendor, which is vendor 1375, right? And so, let's see. If you, of course, this lists them all their SKU numbers, their model numbers. If you look over here, if we looked at them and showed the discontinued pieces, they would show the discontinued D here, a D1 or a D2 here, to let you know that those were discontinued. In this column here, it tells me whether it's in a kit. And different companies have different names. Some people call them groups or families, whatever they call them. Infinity X has kits, and the SKUs that make up the kits are called elements. So I'm going to take this one here, and if I click on that K, if I want to know what is in that kit, it's going to show me that this kit is made up of a dining base. It has a dining tabletop. It has 4 side chairs, and it has 1 bench. Right? And so that kind of, and if I wanted to check on the inventory on any of those, or I can click on the box next to the SKU, it actually shows me the availability of each right over here. But I can get even deeper information if I wanted to click on this button. I'm going to go back to this screen, and if you notice, it actually, even though I didn't click the Show Quantity Available button, it showed me the quantities available. Anytime there are under 30 SKUs that come up in a search, it will automatically populate it with the availability. If there's more than 30, it won't show it because it makes the search take too long. I mean, if you wanted to do it, you can go ahead and do it. And then click the Show Quantity Available button afterwards if you want it again. That's going to slow down the process. Here's what we have right now. Okay, so I'm going to go look at the availability on this SKU just by double-clicking on that line, and just like the other one I showed you earlier, this shows me the kit availability in these locations. What it's showing me is that store number 10 doesn't have any. Although if you look below, they did it one time because it's showing me a bin location, floor sample bin location here. If it would have never been at that store, it wouldn't have shown me anything down here. So it will show me where it was in that store at one time. Again, store number 11, 12, and 13, and 14, I should say, only have them available on their floor samples, so they're not showing them as available or for pick OK. And the warehouse shows 23 in bin 80, 80, 80. Okay. Again, if you look on top, we don't have any of these on order. What else do we have here? Now, one explanation on kits is it will only show you, when you look for inventory of a kit, it will only show you the number of complete kits available. Because if you were short some pieces in a kit, obviously you can't sell it and fulfill your order today. So, you know, as an example, if had a kit that had, you had 1,000 chairs in stock, but you only had one table, and it was a table and 4 chairs make up a kit, it would only show you one kit available, because the other chairs are not matched up with the table and so are not available as a kit. You can look at the elements individually and see how many of each of those are and where they're at, but in terms of a complete kit, you would only have one. So that's how we look for, that kind of shows you how kit looks in this screen. And we also showed you how to search for a set of SKUs that match your criteria, your search criteria here. That's pretty much it on the SKU inquiry and getting you this SKU lookup screen here. Again, if you look across here, we're going to scroll to the right. It will show you things like your profit margin and some other things that are not filled out. If there were indicators attached to the SKU, it would show it here. If it was in a promotion, it would also show you right here. But that's kind of how you get the information on the kit. That's it.